Hello, sir.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice. I am back home.
You are, yeah.
Coming at you from Somerville.
Nice. How long were you gone for in total?
So I was gone for 2 weeks on Martha's Vineyard, which was lovely. It was what I was hoping it was, which is like did some work in the morning and then like got outside basically every afternoon, like went for a hike, saw a ton of the island, and then sometimes a little more work in the afternoon, did a lot of cooking, a lot of playing cards, relaxing. It's just a very nice kind of mixed vacation.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then right when I got back, actually, like at the next day, we went and did a founders retreat.
Okay.
So the three of us got an Airbnb nearby and did some sort of quarterly review and planning.
Mm-hmm. So official.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're very legit. I'm digging the cadence though. I think like quarterly is kind of a nice time to do it. We did some reflection, like we did like feedback sessions and things like that. And then we also like spent most of the time kind of thinking about the next 3 months and what we want to do. And that feels about right. Like to like kind of do some upfront planning about that often and then try to just execute during the quarter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured I would share it. People seem to like when I share the stuff that we actually talk about, like the questions. So I figured I'd just like share a few of those things. So one thing we did was this feedback session. So we did like a I like that and I wish that, set of feedback points for each other. And that went well, although I think we've decided to try to do this more on the fly, like rather than like saving it or like expecting this to happen at some point. It's definitely useful to get that stuff out, but I think it's even better to get it out right away.
Yeah, right. Don't let it fester for too long.
Yeah. So we're going to try to like do that more ongoing. But in general, just like feedback, like honest feedback flowing between us, I think is super huge, like really important. So we wrote a set of things before the retreat. So one was the feedback. The next was the summary of how your work and personal lives were going, which is maybe not how like everyone, like might not work for everyone's professional setting.
Sure.
Like maybe the personal thing is too personal.
Yeah.
But given like how intertwined our things are and like also just like we're very close, I think it made sense to kind of cover everything.
Right. Especially as co-founders, you all are equity holders in this business, and like your personal motivations and what you want out of it really ties into, where the company should go. So that makes even more sense. And that's
totally.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we did highlights and lowlights of the quarter. So just taking a second to kind of reflect on what was good and what was not so good. We wrote down what would make the retreat a success for you, and then a list of fun things you'd like to do this quarter. And also, ahead of time, we read the first handful of chapters of No Rules.
Oh, what is that? I've heard that.
Reed Hastings.
Oh, okay.
So it's by the founder of Netflix, and it's about basically how Netflix does their culture. And it was great. I started it, and then after a few chapters, I was like, you guys got to read this, and we have to talk about this, because it was super interesting.
That's cool. Any immediate like takeaways or things you're adopting from that yet, or still kind of reading through it?
Yes. I think one of the most impactful chapters was kind of Netflix's goal is to pay like top of personal market, which I think is interesting. That they have their employees like solicit offers from like recruiters and other companies and like, okay, like I'm worth this on the market. And Netflix is like, great, we've chosen you because you're amazing, and that's what we want to pay you. If you're worth more elsewhere, like we want to try to match that. Yeah, so the first two chapters are have really high talent density, meaning like don't have, adequate performers. The thing in Netflix is like adequate performance is met with a generous severance package. It's like, thank you, but that's not what we're into. And then the other thing is like, pay top of personal market. And just those two things alone are like hard to achieve, or like, require quite a concerted effort to achieve. I have to say that vision is inspiring.
They're one company too that's like very, let's be clear about what this is. We are a company working towards a goal. We're not a family in that respect. Like we're, it's like very performance oriented, right? Is that kind of your sense?
Oh yeah, definitely. And they say like it's not a family, it's a sports team.
Yeah.
So we want like the best player possible in each position.
Mm-hmm.
Great book. Definitely recommended.
Cool. Yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah. Also, a few days ago, was it this week? Who knows? I was on Mixergy.
Oh, nice.
Andrew Warner.
Very cool.
Which is interesting. Yeah. I noticed an interesting thing, or like sort of Andrew kind of found a theme during the show that I realized was true, which is I was bringing up some like interesting things that have happened to Tuple over the months and years. And he pointed out that I seem to be willing to ask for things, and that seemed to be like a strength. And I think that's true. Meaning like, so like an example is like, I asked to be on Mixergy, and like I saw a friend of mine was on there, and I was like, hey, can you intro me to Andrew? And like, I'd like to be on there. And like, that just worked out. Some of our like best testimonials have come because I asked people, hey, like, would you say nice things about us? Because it would really help us. Like, we ask our customers to tweet about us if they have good experiences. Like, we ask people to do things for us. So many good things in my life have come as a result of just like being willing to like kind of ask for a thing. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Not sure what the conclusion is here, but hey, maybe try it.
Do more of that.
Yeah. It's like sometimes you might be surprised at what you get if you just like are willing to like take the slight social risk or like the risk of rejection and just request something.
Right. And most of the time people are more helpful than you maybe assume they are, you know?
Yeah.
For sure. I found that in my experience too.
Yeah, I feel like my success rate is quite high.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare that I ask someone for a favor and then they're unwilling to do it, or some flavor of it, some reduced version. But yeah, that was interesting being on the podcast. He does this thing. I don't know if this is good. This might be just their style, but he says at the beginning of the interview, if there's anything I ask you about that you don't want to talk about, feel free to push back on me. That's totally fine. Like, you don't have to answer any questions you don't want to. But once you answer a question, it's in the recording and we're not going to take it out.
Huh. Interesting. As opposed to the like go easy on you where it's like, oh, don't worry, we can edit stuff out later. It's like it's the opposite approach. Yeah.
I don't know that I like that approach.
Yeah.
Like, I think it put me more on edge than if he hadn't done that. And maybe that's just like the kind of vibe he wants, or like maybe it feels a little bit like, why is this good? Like, okay, I guess it prevents a little bit of work for you. Sure, maybe that's good. You're not going to give people a chance to review it, but I feel like there are parts of the interview where like I feel like I performed a little bit worse, or like I didn't like how I handled it because I have this thing in my head, which is like, as soon as I say this, it's out there, versus, you know what, let's cut that part. I don't like my answer there, or I'd rather not actually have that go live or something.
Yeah, that is an interest. I wonder why. I would be curious about what the origin of that is. Like, yeah, is it?
Yeah.
I doubt it's an editing thing, because they have, they've been doing this a long time. They have a whole business built up around it. Like, I'm sure that would be no big deal to do editing. So, and it wasn't live streamed or anything, right? Was it just a recording?
Nope.
Yeah,
just recording. Yeah, I'm sure it's not that they can't afford the process. It felt like, why would you want this other than you're good at getting people to kind of just blur stuff out,
right?
And then once you do, that's it. Like,
right.
And you've got like a scoop or something.
Right.
It didn't feel guest friendly to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did he hammer you about your MRR? That's always like a famous Andrew
Warren. He asked and I answered kind of vaguely.
Yeah.
But he didn't push it beyond that.
Yeah.
Kind of last thing going on for me is I tweeted the other day about looking to hire a pairing coach for Tuple. We're trying it as an experiment. This is a thing we've been talking about doing maybe for years now, which is having people that are experts at pairing and offering calls with them to our customers. And so there's sort of two goals for these calls. One, as you might imagine, is like kind of an onboarding thing. Like if someone is bored, like hasn't quite used it yet, or maybe like there's definitely features of the app that aren't quite as discoverable. So there's like a little bit of like training that we want to do as part of it. Like here's like Tuple specific stuff, but then also leveling people up and making them, more better pair programmers is certainly very powerful and would feel good.
Has there been any has there been kind of demand expressed for this in one form or another? Or is this sort of like just a guess that like, I think this might be useful to customers?
It's a guess.
Yeah.
Very much an experiment. We'll see. Another idea I have on it is like people. So for a while we were asking people when they signed up, like, how often do you want to pair? And a pretty surprising percentage of people said like every day, or like every week. And then if you look at their behavior, it does not match that. So there's aspirations that are rarely met. And so another idea I had is like something to do on this call is like, all right, how often do you want to pair? Like, oh, this often? Okay, how about we get a recurring calendar invite with someone who would like to pair with you? Like, let's set that up right now. Let's schedule it. And just help people actually achieve this, aspiration they have. Like, how do we set them up to actually succeed and become the great pair programmer that they want to be?
Yeah. And would this be free, like a free service that you would offer to people, or would you charge for it?
Yep. No, I think it's going to be free.
Free thing. Yeah. That's cool.
An interesting question. I hadn't thought about charging for it. I think we just offer for free. But then again, sometimes like people value it more if you charge them for it. But I'm not sure. I was thinking of, in the initial periods, offering it to people who hadn't really gotten activated yet as a kind of thing to help nudge them over the line. So it would be hard to charge those people for it, perhaps. But that might be an interesting thing to think about. So I have some candidates I'm talking to. It feels like a hard position to fill because it's like, I want them to be a developer so they can talk the talk. I want them to know a lot about pairing. I want them to be like sociable or like, like friendly, good on calls. Yeah, so it's kind of a tricky set of skills, I think, to find overlap and like be interested in doing this kind of work, like not programming, but like, like training effectively, teaching. So I think it's probably not for everyone, but hopefully we can find somebody who finds it like fulfilling and interesting.
Mm-hmm. And when you're posting a job like this, like how do you think about the structure of it? Do you start as like part-time contractor kind of thing and then work out from there if it turns into something that you want to keep around longer? Or
definitely going to start with like part-time contractor relationship at first.
Yeah.
And then see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are getting like thousands of new users a month. So like, could we fill a full-time person if that's what they wanted? Probably, yeah. If we offered it to everyone, then probably you could have a pretty full schedule of these. But like, is that the right way to do it? Do people want to do that many? I imagine doing like 40 a week would probably be kind of brutal. So I'm kind of open to a bunch of ways of this kind of playing out. And also maybe just not working. Like I do want to run it as a test. So come up with some like, A/B type test and see like, okay, when we do this, do we see positive impact for it or is it not worth it at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could see this being like a core like service kind of component of your like customer success team once that becomes like a bigger thing. It's like, what thing can they do to help customers be successful basically is the mandate of a customer success team. And it's not just support. It's not just like where's this button to do this thing, but it's like, how do you like make people more successful once they're already kind of in the, in the app. So
yeah. And it's successful with the app and then successful with the larger task of, being a pair programmer. And that to me, I think that's exciting. Or like, I feel like that's like a nice way of positioning it and a nice way of thinking about it. Like if it's just like, hi, I'm John, the customer success manager at Tuple. Do you want to get on a call? It's like less good than like, hi, I'm John. I'm an expert in pair programming. How about we jump on and I can teach you some stuff. And we'll also like do a quick, 5 minutes just to make sure you know the basics of Tuple.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think is maybe a little more palatable.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That's good.
And I'm more excited to support that kind of thing. Even if they don't become a customer, it's like making more skilled pair programmers in the world is good for the world. And I think good for us. And maybe if they don't become customers, they still think good things about us. And hopefully I think the downstream effects are really positive from that.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So more updates on that.
Cool.
Soon.
You have some other recs out there, right? You have the WebRTC expert and the person pair with Joel. Like how's that all coming along?
Oh yeah. WebRTC expert, still hard to find.
Yep. Still elusive.
Still elusive. Had someone who was promising, but he ended up taking a job somewhere else. So still working on that. Joel is actually pairing with Josh Clayton from Thoughtbot.
Oh, nice.
My former coworker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Josh and I worked together for years in the Boston office. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, if we need Rails expertise, there's kind of a pretty good answer over here. And we're at the point where we can like afford Thoughtbot rates. So
nice.
They're doing 10 hours a week of pair programming.
Oh, cool. So it's like he's still with Thoughtbot. He's not out on his own at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's exciting to see. And like just hearing Joel talking about some of the things they're doing, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like Josh's influence. So it's like the kind of refactoring that Josh would suggest.
That's cool That's cool to make a connection, a loop back to a former life of yours. It's always fun.
Totally. Yeah. And I also feel like one of the cool things about having a company is like getting to work with my awesome friends from like previous lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I try. The more I do that, the more fun it is.
Yeah, that's a nice spot to be in because I aspire to, eventually grow my own team, and there's kind of two paths you can take. You can either take all right, I'm going to be a scrappy bootstrapper, and I'm going to look for, kind of geo arbitrage or find developers who are in a widely different time zone that are in a different country with lower cost of living so I can save some money. And, that's definitely like a route that a lot of people have to go. But I'm also like hoping that I can not do too much of that and just kind of, very carefully and methodically hire at the right points where the ROI makes sense and where it aligns with revenue growth so that I can actually like, I don't know, just, pay good rates, pay market rates or above market or whatever, and work with really skilled people, that's a goal of mine.
Totally. Yeah. The Netflix style, like, hire really great people and knowing they're expensive, I think definitely resonates with me more than let's look for a bargain and try to do that.
Which, takes money. It takes money. All it takes is money.
Yeah. All you have to do is make a bunch of money and you can do it.
Exactly. Yep.
Have you thought more about hiring a person? We talked about this in the past a little bit.
Yeah. So I've been talking to somebody, a friend from the community, about kind of doing like a contract basis, kind of growth marketing type stuff to get flywheels going. And so far, so good. I'm kind of excited about the prospect. We've been batting ideas back and forth, and I think it could really help. Like, I know it's still going to probably require some of my time, because if you think about like marketing projects usually require some element of design, some element of like, getting things, at least at the minimum, getting things onto the website. And I'm not sure if that's a skill of this particular person. And like, that would be a lot to expect, for someone to like do all of that stuff potentially. So I know I'm still gonna have to carve out time, but I think it's looking like, this person can save me a lot of that effort and help with like the strategy side too, which is really, it's like I'm kind of looking for strategy and execution ideally, because that's where I just want brain power dedicated to that. And I know that I could easily just dedicate most of my brain power to product, and that could start to slip, so.
Totally.
So yeah.
So how likely is this to happen, do you think?
I would give it I would say 80% at this point, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this the first person you will have like hired in your capacity as a solopreneur?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
Big step. Yeah.
Well, cool. I'm excited to hear how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Do you have any initial projects kind of shaped up?
We're still kind of like talking strategy on that, so I don't have anything to report just yet, but I will definitely, as it kind of shapes up, we'll be reporting it here. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How's revenue? Still add new people?
Yeah, it's very like incremental at this point. I'm working on team functionality, and it's taking, permissions logic. It's a slog, man. Just getting that dialed in just right. And it's hard. It's really hard to keep this one in tight scope, because it's like, I want people to be able to just at a minimum, create a team, invite people, and they can at least create their own scheduling links and then potentially create them kind of under a company banner, so it's like, sometimes people want to do it on behalf of them. Sometimes they want to do it under their company. And then of course there's a whole slew of different team type of scheduling links that people will want to create, like a collective link that has, multiple attendees from internal or external, and merging all their availability together. And so, it's like I've been trying to incrementally release team functionality. I like release teams, but the inability to actually add a teammate yet, which I was proud of that,
Nice.
very iterative releasing. I just put a note in the UI that's like, hey, you can't add a member yet. That's under development, but you can like create your team, and you can create links for yourself under your team.
I might need this if we end up having like a couple pairing coaches in the pool, being able to send out one link that's like, grab time from whoever happens to be available. Like, here's the union of all their free time.
Yep. Yeah. So definitely like collective and round robin mode, for group links is going to be, coming soon.
By the way, I was inspired by somebody scheduled a 15-minute meeting with me. Like, he sent me a meeting link, and like it was for 15 minutes. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I did it, and I was like, 15 minutes was great. If it had been even a little bit longer than this, it would have been way worse. Like, that like really forced us to like go fast. And so I just went and changed my SavvyCal defaults. So now I had 30 and 60 before, and now I have 15 and 30.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm going to see how that works out.
Yeah. That's cool. That's good.
Yep. So what else is going on in your world?
Let's see. So our episode just dropped. Well, we're recording on the day that this episode dropped, the kind of announcement about the StaticKit sale. So I don't think I've mentioned that yet because it was not public yet, but I did tease it a little bit. And so, yeah, folks can listen to that episode to hear about that. But it feels really good to get that, push that over the finish line. It hasn't been a huge distraction, but it's been kind of just, something kind of brewing behind the scenes. And I've been working with the Formspree team to kind of get basically the launch put together for this and help them transition and get all the StaticKit libraries ported over and make a really smooth migration path for StaticKit users. So,
Dude, Formspree used to be my enemy.
Yeah, I know. How funny is that? Yeah.
When I was working on FormKeep, one of the many.
So many worlds collide.
Things.
Yep.
Yeah. So now that you've had like this huge exit from StaticKit, are you less motivated to work on SavvyCal?
It's funny, like an exit is an exit. It checks a box in that column, but this is by no stretch this is not an acquisition of the kind of like Drip or something like that. But
life changer.
No. But for me, the big win is that it's not just shutting down StaticKit, because obviously moving on from it. There was a couple choices I could have made, and one of them was just shut it down. And there are people using it, getting value out of it, have it installed on their website, and it's not going to be zero friction, but it's going to be minimal friction for them to kind of get back up and running on something else. And that's what I wanted. I don't want to leave behind a trail of apps that never took off, and then people kind of get screwed over when you shut them down and stuff. So yeah,
it's nice to find a good home for the thing you're not focused on now.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I have a couple of those. Trail Mix and Briefs are both still chugging along, making like, a couple $100 a month each. At least I use Trail Mix all the time. Briefs is technically I kind of use, I guess, in the sense that it's hosting some small podcasts I put together. There's just enough maintenance of a software, like of a SaaS, that it's like kind of annoying. And every time I'm like, okay, another like security patch we have to apply because they found a bug in something. Or like, oh, this part of this just stopped working at some point, or someone had hit an exception. It's like, these are just annoying enough. And like, it'd be kind of nice to like offload this to somebody else.
Yeah, and software just rots over time. It just does inevitably.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yep.
Which is frustrating, but
it rots. Yeah, but then there's also like as I imagine you're now like you're familiar with, like there's an overhead of like selling it to somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's There's no easy answer here.
No, yeah. And it definitely was by no means like a huge burden, but it was more, this whole sale process was a bit more of a distraction than I was expecting it to be. Just, there are posts to write, there are emails to craft, there are things to schedule out. There's all these little things add up, and before you know it, it's like, oh no, it's slowing me down. So
yeah, totally. So are you cutting a check to Tiny Seed for some of the proceeds?
So it's just getting reinvested back into the company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's just it's an asset, sale of an asset. So
got it. Okay.
Yep.
That's too bad. They could chalk up their first acquisition.
Well, I mean, I think they still technically can,
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Technically.
That's true. Put it on some page somewhere.
Yep. I had a note about this, and I still haven't mentioned it on the podcast yet, but I wanted to give some kudos to UserList, the app. They're also a Tiny Seed member in the second batch, I think. I set them up for when I was preparing to launch SavvyCal, and I wanted to get some basic like onboarding emails set up. And it's a really well executed product, and it reminds me a lot of like the early days of Drip, when Drip was a much simpler tool. But it's like some of the little details that I just remember implementing or like doing one way and then wishing they could be a different way. It's like UserList has like gotten it right out of the gate because they're just so focused on this use case. It's been a pleasant tool so far to use.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if I should look at them again. I remember when I first tried them out in the early days of Tuple, and it was very early for them as well. So it was quite a simple product back then. I remember being like there wasn't quite enough complexity at the time. But I'd be interested to see like where they're at today.
Yeah. I think the big thing will be figuring out if it becomes painful for like my marketing emails not to be in the same place as my customer emails.
Yeah.
Because you're using Customer.io, right?
Yes.
Are you doing marketing emails through there also, or is it just customer? stuff predominantly?
No, it's kind of complicated. Like you have to set a user ID in Customer.io. And so I don't have a good answer for that. So like we have stuff from like a marketing list from when I was using Drip, and it's like, okay, these people never became customers, but they did ask to hear about updates. What do I do here? And they were like, here's some options, and none of them seemed amazing. And so that just like fell to the bottom of my to-do list. And like there's just like part of our marketing asset is just not really being utilized because I don't have a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. It's tricky.
And yeah, like I have no interest in like, okay, now I have like let's spin up MailChimp, and then MailChimp will be for like these broadcasts over here, and then this will be for your net. Like it's not ideal.
Yep.
And then like people unsubscribe from multiple things, like I don't want to make them do that. So it's tricky.
That's why maybe user list will eventually get into the marketing emails arena. But I know there's all kinds of headaches that comes with that. Obviously, it's much cleaner on a spam control. Just in that area, is if it's like you already have a relationship with these people, and the lists are smaller, so scaling concerns maybe a little bit less daunting, and there's a bunch of pros to just keeping it to relationship emails. But
definitely, yeah, we benefit a lot from some of the simplicity choices we've made. When you're small, and it really makes life a lot easier.
Yep. I was looking around because I wanted to get a better idea of now that I have actual users logging in using the product. I wanted to start to visualize like, okay, the users that end up being most successful, what are their usage patterns kind of look like? So what steps do they take? How often do they log in? How often do they look at stuff? How many links do they create? On and on and on. I'm kind of in the market for like a funnel analytics tool. And I asked around on Twitter a little bit about this. Like, I remember, back in the day, we used Mixpanel a bunch for this. And I know they're still around, but I don't know. There's been a lot of other tools that have come up. There's like Heap Analytics. There's Amplitude that I've heard of. But a lot of these tools have like funky pricing where like you get a bunch for free, and then there's like a tripwire. Amplitude in particular is like this. There's like a tripwire, and they don't even publish the price for their paid plan. So it's like free, and then if you need this one other thing, like call for pricing, and that scares the heck out of me.
Yeah,
as a bootstrapper.
Totally.
Do you guys use anything today for like tracking this kind of stuff?
We use Mixpanel.
Okay. Is it doing?
I know
job?
we pay for it.
Yeah.
We did have a period where it was like, oh, it's going to be $1,000 a year. Are we cool with that? Yes. And then like we started sending even more data. They're like, actually, it's going to be like $3,000 a year. Are we cool with that? I was like, yeah, I guess. And so we ran into some of that.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now what it costs us right now. Mm-hmm. They have like monthly tracked users is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Which I imagine. So I guess if you have it on only for customers versus like, I imagine it kind of bumps up cost if you install it on your public website and you're like tracking from pre-conversion to post. Well, then you have a lot of visitor data potentially counting towards your user count or something. So
I believe that's true. Yeah, it looks like we're paying something like $3,200 a year for it.
Okay. That's not nothing, but
yeah. There's a lot of startup program credit things in this space. Like if you join the Segment startup program, I think you get like a free year of Mixpanel and Amplitude and something else. Like these analytics companies love to do like a free year of something for startups.
Yeah. Which
gets you in there.
Would totally want to take advantage of that, and also be aware that like with a tool like Amplitude, getting a year for free is cool, but then like once you're really locked in, then you're kind of beholden to them. If you do cross over the year mark, congratulations, you owe us $20,000 now for this year or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, that's a little dangerous.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for the input.
Mm-hmm. Anything else going on in your world?
I think that's it for me. Just chugging along.
All right. Notes for the show?
Notes for the show can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.